Hello, Dion Johnson here. Welcome to the broadcast. I am, for those of you that don't know me, I'm the author of the book Influential Woman that you can pick up at any good bookstore. So if you haven't got your copy, then I really strongly suggest that you do go get yourself one. It's a great read, even if I do say so myself. And as well as writing the book, I am the creator of a leader development framework called The Power Path. And I wrote the book and developed the framework because my work is all about supporting board level women in senior leadership to truly own their authority and to step authentically into their innate power to influence and lead, and to communicate their true voice so that they can lead with greater influence, convey their unique, valuable insights within their organization, and they can fearlessly make a distinct and meaningful difference in the boardroom and beyond. So, I'm making this broadcast today because even though it's really late, like it's 10 to 11 right now at night, and I've just finished work, but I didn't want to go without making this broadcast because it's a special day for me. Today's the 20th of September. It's 13 years to the day since my Auntie Tiny died. Now, if you followed my work at all, or if you've read my book, then you'll know just how her death opened up a whole new path for me. It's a real turning point in my leadership journey, the death of my aunt, and I really wanted to share with you what my thoughts are around this. You know, for those of you that don't know, I was born with a pronounced facial disfigurement, and as a baby and right into my early adulthood, I spent a lot of time in hospital having corrective surgery. And as part of that corrective process, when I was 4 years old, I was gifted an artificial eye, a plastic shell that fit over my disfigured eye to look like a normal eye, and a pair of dark, very dark, big glasses. And the whole point of those gifts were to help me to blend in, to help me to look more normal, to look more like you. And I call these the beginning, these gifts, the beginning of my life behind the mask. And I'm really grateful for those gifts. I'm really grateful for that time of my life. But unbeknownst to me back then, this was really the start of a significant pattern that would go on to play out in all kinds of ways in my life. There was a me that it was on show, that you could see, that was visible, the mask, right? And then there was this other me on the inside, and really that was how I showed up in life and in leadership and in work and in relationships right the way through to my 40s, 2009, when my aunt died. So my aunt's death was really a big interruption to my mask wearing days. On the day of her funeral, I lost my glasses, my dark glasses, and it sent me into a panic, into a spin. I just was terrified of going to the funeral without my glasses on. I was terrified of people seeing me without my mask. And in the end, I ended up going to my Auntie Tiny's funeral in my sister's sunglasses. But I noticed how uncomfortable I was with people actually seeing me, people actually looking at me, and especially when it got dark and late in the evening and I had to take those glasses off. It was really uncomfortable. In fact, it opened up a season of real dark pain, really. It felt like something, I couldn't explain. On top of the grief, on top of the whole funeral planning and dealing with the people, and there was this thing happening with me. I just couldn't articulate how painful it was. And I ended up on my knees the day after the funeral, on my knees with my hands up in the air, crying out to God, saying, God, something's not right, something's really hurting. And the conversation that I had with that still small voice on the inside of me was incredible, because for the first time in all the time that I've been wearing the artificial eye and the dark glasses, I started to hear the question. I started to question that, like, why are you hiding? Why won't you let people see the real you? Why are you suppressing yourself? Why won't you show up for real? these questions, I'd never asked myself that before. I was talking about my face at the time, and I just didn't ever question it. Right from the age of 4, right to in my 40s, I had just been every day putting this artificial eye in, putting my glasses on, and not letting people see what I looked like without them. In fact, very few people knew what I looked like without them. And now here I was with my hands up in the air, knees on my knees with, crying out to God. And here's the questions that were coming up. Why are you hiding? Why won't you let people see the real you? I thought they were silly questions. And when I heard myself say that I didn't have any choice, that I had to show up like this because of the way that I looked, I knew it was time for change. It's been an incredible journey of unmasking, and it's really opened up a whole new way for me to show up in leadership and in life. I've discovered more and more of the real me, and I've been mastering the way that I show up and speak up in life and in leadership and in all of my relationships, and it's been incredible. Now people call me powerful. Now I get invited to share my views and my story and my body of work in some incredible spaces. And now I get to truly make a distinct difference in my domain. So, yeah, today I've been thinking about my Auntie Tiny just with gratitude in my heart, really full of just wonder at the journey that her death really opened up for me. And I want to share with you some of the key lessons that the biggest thing that I think I've learned on this journey to date, the biggest thing that I've learned that really does undergird my work, the thing that I'm most convinced of, the thing that I've discovered the most and realized in a really profound and personal way is this. I've discovered that the reality is that I'm not the only one. There are so many powerful women in positions of power and high level leadership who are living and leading behind their own masks, metaphorically speaking. Women who are just not showing up and speaking up in their true voice. Women who are just not being or feeling seen or heard or taken seriously. It's as if there are women who are here to, at such a time as this, to make a real powerful difference, but we've got masks on our face and we've got locks on our voices. I've come to believe with all of myself, with all of in my knowing place, that it's not until these women are supported to find who they really are behind those masks and who they are positioned to be in those high level roles. Um, and the distinct difference that they're born to make within their organization and their industry, then it's not until these women are supported that mission driven organizations and industries and nations and ultimately planet Earth are being deprived of progress, producing ideas, insights, new approaches, new solutions, and new ways of doing things. It's not until these women are supported to really reconnect with who they are and show up for real that we get to that that we get to progress in ways that only their unique, valuable insights are going to help us to. We can't afford to pay this price. We simply can't afford to absorb the expense associated with the miscarriage and the abortion of those unique, valuable insights and womanly wisdom that these women are carrying. I realize that it's time for our faces to be unmasked and our voices to be unlocked so that board level women can genuinely be seen, heard, and taken seriously, so that they can contribute authentically and make a powerful difference. So, as I remember Auntie Tiny today, my message to you is really simple. We no longer need to be afraid, ashamed, insecure, overly self-conscious, self-critical, or hidden like I was in high-level leadership. There is a path that is opening up before you, a power path that's readily waiting for you to step onto. And it's inviting you to find, face, and embrace and free the woman behind the mask that you wear professionally. You're being called to do the work, to evolve, to develop, and to master your true influential voice. And this is imperative. It's imperative that we get to a place where it's much less about the chains that we've historically been suppressed by and depressed by, and much more about the change that we urgently need to see in your organization, your industry, and your work, your world even. So what do you think? Do any of these realizations that I've been having ring true for you? What are you realizing and discovering along your own power path? What are you convinced about as a result of your own leadership development journey? And what's your truest conviction about your space in the marketplace? Perhaps as you're listening to me, you're thinking about the life and leadership lessons that a loved one has helped you to learn. I would really genuinely love to know. Why don't you leave a comment wherever it is that you see this video? And if this has resonated with you, perhaps you'll buy the book, or perhaps you'll email me. I just would love to stay in touch and keep sharing, as my journey's not over, it's ongoing, and I'm learning all the time and love to share my insights with you. My name's Dion Johnson, and we'll speak soon.